globe. Your attention, please. Welcome to the Night Sports Arena at Southern Virginia University for today's women's basketball Capital Athletic Conference matchup featuring the Eagles of Mary Washington and your Southern Virginia University. Thank you for your support of the student athletes and coaches participating in today's contest. In the spirit of good sportsmanship, they ask you to respect the following SVU athletic rules. Cheer loudly and proudly for your team, not against the visitors. No profanity, vulgarity, racist or sexist remarks. No personal remarks towards players, coaches, or officials. Show that you know the game. Stay away from the playing area and team bench areas. Zero tolerance for alcohol and tobacco use at all contests. Thank you for your cooperation and go Knights! In accordance with tradition at Southern Virginia University, we will begin with a word of prayer, which will be offered by Channing Jackson.
Our dear kind Heavenly Father, we're very grateful for this day. Please watch over and protect these girls as they play the sport that they love. Please help that they will be able to have good sportsmanship and that they will be able to come out feeling good about the way that they played. We're very grateful for all thy many blessings that you've given us and for this warm weather that we have received. Please continue to watch over and protect us as we go throughout the rest of our night. We love thee so very much, and we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen.
Now, if you will all please rise and face the flag for the playing of our national anthem.
you are sitting in the best seat in Houston. We are thrilled to join you. Hello once again, everybody. Chris Fly alongside Dawson Weidrich. We welcome you to tonight's Sports Network. In today's contest, we have the Eagles of the University of Mary Washington against the Southern Virginia Knights. Dawson, should be a really exciting matchup tonight.
Oh, it absolutely should be, considering these teams went to overtime last time they played against each other. We want to introduce the starting lineups first for the Eagles. Number 5, Jordan Pam Laney. Number 23, Emily Thompson, their leading scorer on the season. And number 24, Megan Comer. Number 32, Erica Carter. And number 33, Kayla Psyche. And again, this team played it very close to SVU last time, only losing 66-58 in overtime. And so it should be a very fun one. And now we have your Southern Virginia University Knights. The first one up for SVU is number 11, point guard Corey Stout. We talked about her blinding speed on the defensive side of the ball and how good of a threat she is. Also, the senior leader, number 12, Brindy Ballum. She's stepped up in scoring so much these past 2 weeks, really helped her team in tough situations. And the next one, Savannah Christensen. Savannah Christensen coming off of an 18-point game against Salisbury, where they also won in overtime. Number 23, Alexis Barnes. Alexis Barnes also had a great game against Salisbury with 17 points. And then the bread and butter of their offense this season, Katie Garish. The multiple-time CSC Player of the Week, one-time National Player of the Week. Should be exciting to see what the starting lineup has in store for us.
And Dawson, this being a CAC matchup in the works makes things a little bit more interesting. Knights at the top of the CSC right now, only behind, or right in front of CNU, who's nipping at the heels of the Knights up against Mary Wash, who stands right now third from the bottom of the pack. So Knights, 2 more home games left in this season. One against Mary Wash and the next one against St. Mary's. If they sweep those 2, they take home number 1 in the CAC, and they lock home court advantage going into the playoffs.
And that would just be huge for this team. Again, we've talked about the rebounding year that it's been for them. Last year only having 12 wins in the season. This year already having 18 wins, 18-4, and the top contender for the CAC. So again, just a huge step up for this program. Great work by these girls so far this season.
Great work by the girls, and great work by first-year head coach, Coach Adam Wardenberg of the Knights. Again, we talk about it every broadcast, he instilled championship mentality in his girls. And as this gets on the way, Knights look to extend this run of the season right now, make it 20-4. They go up against a tough opponent. They went into overtime last time they faced off in the Eagles of University of Mary Washington. And the Eagles start out with the ball first. So an immediate travel call on the Eagles. Now we see the Knights on their first trip down on offense.
And I talked to Coach Wardenberg a little bit about last time they played against St. Mary's, and he talked about how the girls just need to maintain momentum. They need to just keep playing the way they, like at some points in the game against Mary Washington, they had a 14-point lead, and it went in overtime. And so they just need to keep that consistency on offense and the defensive side of the ball and not have mental lapses.
Alexis Barnes trying to get the ball in to Katie Garris. Nothing doing. Get the Eagles ball back. And Dawson, playing on your point, we've seen throughout this season, when the Knights play their style of basketball, when they play their brand, they are darn near unstoppable in the season.
And I think the biggest example of that was the last minute against CNU here at Knight Arena just a couple weeks ago when they upset them when CNU was ranked number 7. Just how effective they were. They were great at turnovers, points off turnovers. Just playing a very effective offensive ball, and so they need to continue that if they want to maintain this top seed in the CAC.
Brittany Ballon driving away up to the cup, gets fouled on her way there. He's sent to the line to shoot 2.
And that's the fearlessness we've seen from Brittany Ballum just all season long. She's not afraid to go in to the paint against taller opponents and throw up shots, and most of the time it sends her to the free throw line anyway.
Brittany Ballum, the 4th leading scorer on this Knights team, averages 8.7 points per game. And this is her first attempt at the line. But also Ballum, 4th in team in rebounding as well, so the senior picking up 4.8 rebounds a game as well. Eagles now with the ball, carrying up the floor. Number 33, Kyla Saki. Saki up against Brindy Ballum. Saki with a great move to the cup, decided to dish it down. Looks like going to be a foul call on number 40 of the Knights, Katie Garish.
Katie Garish was fully anticipating that being a travel call because Katie Garish, while she's just standing there and kind of stumbled a little bit, but at the same time, I believe it was number 23, Emily Thompson, the same thing.
As that ball is tipped out of bounds off the hands of number 5, Jordan Palmagni. Back over to the Knights. And Dawson, you mentioned Eagles number 23, Emily Thompson. Emily Thompson, leading scorer for this Eagle team, averages right around 12.3 points a game. Interestingly enough, she's also the leader in three-point percentage, averages right around 38%. So that's where the majority of her points come from.
And that's one thing that's really hurt the Knights lately in games where they've struggled, is teams being able to shoot on the outside around them. They can handle people on the inside easily with Savannah Christensen and Katie Garish, but when people can shoot from outside and shoot a lot, that's when it really is difficult for them. We saw it against Payne State Harrisburg here when they upset the Knights at home.
Payne State Harrisburg in that game, they shot over 63s. So probably won't see the Eagles of Mary Washington try to do the same thing, but nevertheless, something for the Knights to look out for, especially in Emily Thompson. It'd be the second foul on Katie Garish. She'll send number 33, Kyla Saki, to the line to shoot 2.
Coach Warrenberg wanting a travel on that play as she was driving in. It looked like she might have taken a couple extra steps.
Nevertheless, Saki will drain her first one. May score 3-1. Rebound by Garish. Knights struggle so far to get something going on offense. Ball goes into Garish. Christensen corner 3. No good. Rebounded by Saki. Here come the Eagles. Fouled on her way to the cup and good for 2. That's number 5, Jordan Palmagni.
I've got to say, the strength that it took to get a shot off and make it with that contact from Savannah Christensen, that was very impressive.
That's the first foul on Christensen. And the first trip to the line for Jordan Palmagni. Converts on the and one, 5-point lead. Dawson, we mentioned the importance of the next 2 home games for the Knights. Right now against Mary Washington, next game against St. Mary's. 2 winnable games, and if they can do that, they can lock up that number 1 spot. And that number 1 spot heading into the playoffs, so important for this Knights team.
Well, absolutely it is. Me and you have talked to the runner-up in the conference right now, CNU, Christopher Newport, a team that the Knights have split games with this year. And Christopher Newport is 11-1 at home this year. And so if they were to get home court advantage in the CAC, that would be detrimental to basically every other team in the CAC. But same thing for the Knights. The Knights have done very well at home, and so they need to make sure that they just win out these next 2 games and also get a little bit of help with some other teams.
Not only that, Dawson, CNU 11-1 at home. Their only loss coming to Messiah. Then ranked 11th when they played at CNU, now ranked 6th in the nation. Now the Knights look to defend the Eagles. That ball goes off the hands of number 32, Erica Carter. Turnover to the Knights.
That's easy deep right there. Katie Garrett had to do nothing in order to affect that pass.
Corey Stout now taking the ball up for the Knights. Corey Stout, the junior, standing at 5'4" from Murray, Utah. Usually comes in as a defensive spark plug, but we've seen her in the last couple games take over the main ball handling duties for the Knights. And right there was a beauty, a pass from Stout to Garish. Good for 2. Knights only down by 1. Knights looking to defend. Thompson. Pass from Thompson inside to Jordan Palmagni. No good. Knight ball.
And kind of talk about Corey Stout a little bit, that point guard position. We've seen majority of the season starting Dawn Mead, the freshman. But I think what Coach Warrenberg is doing here is this late in the season when you have such crucial games coming up, he's going for more experience with Corey Stout. You know, she's been on this team for 3 years, 3 seasons, seen all kinds of games in the CAC and in her conference play. And so she knows what she's doing. And so that's what coach is relying on this final stretch.
And Brindy Baum almost collecting her own rebound off that wild shot. Didn't get a hand on it. Instead goes off her chest. Back to the Eagles. And like you were saying, Dawson, Coach Adam Warrenberg elected to give Corey Stout the start over top of freshman point guard Dawn Mead. Maybe some coaching tactics going into the playoffs. Show these teams a different look with Stout than back in the playoffs. Go back to Dawn Mead, who had great success in her freshman year as point guard for the Knights team. As we see the Eagles number 50, Tori Martin, working her way into the lane for 2. Pass into Christensen. Christensen right hand off the glass.
Beautiful cut and a beautiful pass, especially from Brindy Ballum. Goodness gracious.
Seen a number of great passes from Brindy Ballum and Corey Stout, so the upperclassmen showing out here for the night so far. Looking to do the same thing on defense. Shot from the elbow for number 50, Tori Martin. Put another 2 on the board for the Eagles.
You're starting to see Katie Garish get a little bit tired out there. I think that's why we're starting to see Malia Dye checking in for the Knights.
And Corey Stout asking, ye shall receive, knocks it off the top window. Good for 2, Knights down by 1. Be a foul call on the play. It looks like it'll be against the Knight, and it is. That's against Knights number 21, Savannah Christensen. So Savannah Christensen picks up her second. A number of Knights with multiple fouls on tonight. Christensen with 2, and also Garish with 2. Coach Adam Wardenberg putting some new players in for the Knights. Looks like number 20, Amanda Wood. And also number 25, Malia Dye in for Katie Garish.
Yes, Brother Chris, I just want to talk about Corey Stout just a little bit more. We're talking about her ability to be a spark plug on defense. But I think her greatest strength is her speed. We've seen in games, they're trying to close out games and the defending team's trying to foul them. She just runs around them. Just runs figure eights around people. And so that's her biggest strength as a point guard.
And Dye tripped up in the paint. No call on the play, and it looks like it'll go out of bounds on Malia Dye. So Malia Dye in her first couple of seconds in the game gets tripped up in the paint, no call. The ball back to the Eagles. And Dawson, you mentioned Corey Stout being a spark plug. I want to talk about the spark plugs coming off this Knights bench, including Malia Dye.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Malia Dye, you know, it's intimidating the person you're coming in for, having a multiple CSC Player of the Week, one-time National Player of the Week. The person you're coming in for having such national recognition, it would be so easy for her to come in and just kind of take a backstage, say, okay, I'm here for just a little bit just so she can get rest. No, she comes in, she tries to take charge, she does her own thing, and she really contributes. I mean, we've seen some great plays from her in some really tight games, like against Christopher Newport, against Salisbury, Frostburg State. We've seen multiple situations provided a spark when Katie Garish needed rest.
Absolutely, Dawson. It's not only the starters for this Knights team that can get it done. Multiple bench players showing that they have what it takes to get on the court and fill in for those starters, and no loss of talent on the court. Just a great group of athletes Coach Wardenberg has at his disposal now during this timeout. Knights down 9-13 against the Eagles of the University of Mary Washington. Interesting to know what he's telling his girls coming out of this timeout.
I think he just tell them just keep fighting. He knows he has 2 players with 2 fouls already, Savannah Christensen and Katie Garish. And just things aren't quite working out right now. Shots aren't falling. But just keep working it. Keep working on offense. Defense needs a little work. But just keep pressing on the offensive side, and things will start working.
Travel call there against Eagles number 24, Megan Comer, after the tough defense from Brindy Ballum.
Mary Washington's players are a little hesitant on their feet right now, and so we've seen multiple situations where it could have been called a travel and multiple places where it was called a travel. So we'll look to see that affect the rest of this game.
See some tight defense by the Knights as well, especially with Brindy Ballum picking up basically full court. Now the Knights looking to have that defense here as the Eagles come down the court. Number 24, Comer, now to number 10. This is Faith St. Clair. Down to the paint, great defense by Dye on number 50, Tori Martin of the Eagles. Now here comes Alexis Barnes. Barnes blocked in the paint by number 24, Megan Comer. Now the Eagles again. Picked up by the Eagles, almost out of bounds. Scrap pull by both teams, jump ball. Possession arrow in the way of the Knights, so Knights get the ball back. After a great drive from Alexis Barnes, it ended up being blocked.
That is something that every coach loves to see. When you have players like Alexis Barnes and Corey Stout just diving on the floor, sacrificing their body to get possession back, and it paid off.
I think, Dawson, the players know the meaning of these next 2 games and how important they are going into the CAC tournament. They do not want to face CNU at home. CNU being the 1 seed and 2, these 2 teams are projected to meet in the finals. They want to be here at Knight Arena and not in Newport News. The Eagles now on offense. Saki, met by Ballum. Ballum able to tip it up. Saki drives in the lane. Travel call on number 33, Kayla Saki. Give the ball back to the Knights.
Yeah, it's that hesitant feed again. It was when number 33, Kyla Saki, went to the paint. She realized who was on her, Malia Dye, so she did a little pump fake, but her foot slid as well, and you can't let that happen.
Knights working the ball around. Corey Stout. 3-point good. Only down by 1.
She's sneaky with a three-pointer. She doesn't get them off often just because of her height disadvantage. Once she does, she's very consistent.
Top of the key now. That was number 32, Erica Carter. Wide open on the cut down the baseline. That's number 40, Tora Gibbs.
Absolutely nobody was backside, and so that was the perfect time for that cut by Gibbs.
Brindy Ballum now. Amanda Wood. Back at the Ballum. Ballum able to get a hand on it. Ballum drives in the paint. That no good. Rebounded. Appears to be Kayla Saki, and it is. Saki and the Eagles. No good. Rebounded by Knights number 24, Angel Tuasavera. Tuasavera making her way into this game. A junior from Leh, Hawaii. A great defensive star for this Knights team.
Truly is, and she's just a great role player. I mean, she isn't very consistent as far as getting in every single game. When she does come in, she does everything in her power to play great defensive ball.
3-point by Corey Stout, no good, but team scrapping for it. Another jump ball, this time possession arrow, pointing the way of the Eagles.
And if I'm Coach Wardenberg, I have no problem with that three-point shot. You just made one a possession before, and you're wide open. I mean, there was nobody within 10 or 15 feet of Corey Stout. So by all means, go ahead and shoot that.
Dawson, we've seen in the games that the Knights have struggled in throughout the season. 3 points play a huge factor on the offensive defensive side. Knights not able to stop it on the defensive side and maybe taking too many on the offensive side. Knights looking to defend. This is Palmani. Look to get it back into Palmani and gets it there. Able to be picked up by the Knights. And now foul call on the Eagles. Foul call on the Eagles, number 10, Faith St. Clair, picking up her first foul of the contest.
He had a great view of that push call on that camera angle he just had there, folks. But I want to talk about, you were just saying about three-point shooting. Oftentimes we have a hard time defending and how we have a hard time making them or maybe shooting too many. And again, the main point, three-pointers have not been the Knights' friend in the past few weeks, in the past month and a half, really. Maybe even 2 months. Because, I mean, there's been a lot of games where we've seen them shoot less than 20% from the three-point line. And it's just not been friendly to them. They've been very friendly.
Pass it good by the Knights. So now Knights 1 point deficit, 14-15. Eagles on offense. Faith St. Clair. Palmani back out to St. Clair. Eagles working the ball around. Goes out of bounds off the Eagles. It'll be Knights ball.
Into the game for the Eagles, number 50, Tori Martin, and number 24, Megan Comer.
Now Corey Stout bringing the ball up the floor for the Knights, met by Faith St. Clair. Entering the final minute of this quarter. Stout looking inside for Garish. Able to kick it back out to Tuasavera. It'll be a 3 seconds violation against Knights number 40, Katie Garish.
Now, taking you back to that play, when Katie Garish caught that ball, it wasn't just one, not just two, not just three. There was 4 defenders surrounding Katie Garish.
Tuasavera able to get in the path of that pass. Still Eagles ball, but Dawson, like you were saying, Katie Garish, 3 Eagles on her when that pass came in from Stout and still able to bring it down.
Into the game for Mary Washington, number 23, Emily Thompson.
Checking in the game for the Eagles, number 23, Emily Thompson. We've mentioned her before. She's the leading scorer for this Eagles team and really thrives from the three-point line.
We talked about the struggles of the Knights have had sometimes defending the three-point line, so we'll see that comes to effect once Emily Thompson is in the game.
Changing up the shot clock. Instead, changing up the game clock. Bring it back to 37 seconds. Inbounding the ball for the Eagles is number 10, Faith St. Clair. Ball back to St. Clair. Net by Wood. Thompson. Stripped away by Tua Savara, and now foul call on the play. Bill on the floor. That foul against Eagles number 23. So Emily Thompson picks up a foul after a great steal by Tua Savara.
Oh, just fantastic hands by Tua Savara. Got it right in there, avoided the foul call. And plays like that, where you're playing scrappy and you're able to take advantage of that, it gives your team so much more momentum going into the second quarter.
Final 30 seconds of the first quarter. Corey Stout. Knights looking to get the last shot of this first quarter. Garish. Wood. Tuazvara puts it up. It'll fall, no good. So at the end of the first quarter, Eagles lead over the Knights 15-14.
Eagles 15 and your Knights 14.
We'll give Coach Adam Warnerberg a little bit of time to talk to his team about how to come back from this deficit going into the second quarter and the remainder of the game. We thank you so much for joining us on the Knights Sports Network. Take a little bit of a break right now and bring it back as soon as the second quarter starts. Welcome back to the Knight Arena as the action continues here between the Knights of Southern Virginia and the Eagles at the University of Mary Washington. Right now, the Eagles have a 15-14 lead over the Knights, but the Knights looking to come back strong in the second quarter.
They really are. The last play didn't pan out the way they'd like it to. They didn't get the quality look that they would have wanted to with Angel Tua Savara throwing out the left-handed, I guess, desperation shot. And so looking to take advantage of this first possession.
Barnes' drive, no foul on that, but offensive rebound picked up again by Katie Garish and put up good for two. Knights take the lead for the first time in this game.
As good as that possession was, there's still concerns to why there wasn't a foul called on Alexis Barnes. I mean, she was in there in the paint, going towards the basket, and was basically shoved by a body and threw off a shot drastically, but still no whistles blown.
Some new players in for the Knights, including number 21, Savannah Christian, and Katie Garish. Both right now have 2 fouls on the night. Eagles now with the ball. Number 24, Megan Comer. Defended by Christensen. Able to go up and under, good for 2. Get the Eagles back to lead 17-16. Great drive by number 50, Tori Martin.
We saw the Eagles practice a lot pregame. Those reverse layups, those are their bread and butter. And so once she got underneath the basket, she felt more than comfortable.
Knights on offense. Also in for the Knights is number 30, Kiara Ballum, the freshman guard from Chantilly, Virginia. Sister of the one and only Brindy Ballum here on this Knights team.
Yeah, she's come in and had a lot of great plays here for this Knights team when she's really been needed. And again, how cool is it to play alongside your sister in NCAA basketball?
Absolutely amazing. A family feel for this Knights team and a family affair. Knights now on defense. Martin shot, good from the foul line.
See, Katie Garish is not comfortable going out there and defending on the perimeter. And so if number 50, Tori Martin, continues to shoot like she is, she could have a field day.
Knights now on offense. Ball into Garish. Garish able to go up strong to the cup for 2 and be sent to the line for an and 1.
And Katie Garish already has 12 points on the night, along with 3 rebounds.
Team's first, Katie Garish shooting 1.
And that foul call goes to number 50, Tori Martin. So Martin's first foul of the night, so she'll make her way to the bench, and in her stead comes in number 32, Erica Carter. Erica Carter matches up height-wise a little bit better with Katie Garish. Katie Garish standing at 6'3", and Carter standing at 6'2".
I want to talk about Tori Martin just a little bit. After that last shot that she had on Katie Garish, she has 8 points now. And so she is the second leading scorer in this game, just behind Katie Garish.
Blocked by Garish. Able to pick up her own rebound. It'll stay with the Eagles. Number 32, Erica Carter, as soon as she gets into the game, they attack Katie Garish. No, Garish has 2 fouls already. Garish brave to go up and try to block that. Gets a hand on it, but it'll still be Eagles ball. Palmagni. Pass back out. St. Clair. Picked up by Alexis Barnes and the Knights. Alexis Barnes' speed being the detriment of her on that last play. Turns the ball over, goes out of bounds, Eagles ball. St. Clair. Back into Carter. Eagles moving the ball around. Looks like Christian able to get enough on it to get that one. Barnes able to pull away, hands it off to Ballum.
A great clear out by Alexis Barnes. That's exactly what we want to see out of a player who rebounds it. Just slice through the defender's arms and get out of there. It's textbook basketball right there.
Barnes again, pull up 2. That one no good as it falls out of bounds, Eagles ball. Now coming into the game for the Knights, number 14, Sophie Wright, freshman guard, standing at 5'8" from Logan, Utah. She comes in for Alexis Barnes.
And if you've noticed the pink around the arena so far on this broadcast, that's in part due to Sophia Wright. Her father, Blake Wright, is suffering from cancer in his shoulder, and the team is showing their support by wearing pink today. So
a great show, Dawson. We mentioned earlier with the Balance, it's a family affair, but this whole Knights team really comes together as a family. So the families you have at home translate to that on the basketball court. Great showing by the Knights. They look to make him proud in this game. As Katie Garish goes up strong. Looks like she got the clean block on number 32, Erica Carter. Referee saw differently.
I can't believe that foul call. I mean, Katie Garish's entire hand was on basketball. There was nothing about that warranted a foul call, in my opinion.
Well, Dawson, you're not the only one that can't believe it. As the boos echo here in the Knight Arena, none of the Knights faithful can believe it either. First one good by Carter. So after that call, Malia Dye checks her way into the game as Katie Garish has 3 fouls. The officials for tonight's game, Cindy Lavertu, Vincent Posey, and Dominique Skirty. Carter able to pick up, rebound off that foul shot, so Eagles get another opportunity at it. Tied right now, 20-20. This is Saki, St. Clair. They'll say that ball goes off number 5, Jordan Palagni. It'll be Knights ball.
Now, the hard thing about Katie Garish having 3 fouls right now so early on in the game is she has 12 of their 20 points. She's about 65% of their offense right now. And so with her out, they're going to have to really find some creative ways to get other people opportunities to score, like Savannah Christensen or Malia Dye even.
Speaking of Malia Dye, she'll make her way to the basket. Be fouled on the way there, but foul be on the floor. This foul call goes to number 32, so Erica Carter picks up her first of the night. You mentioned Dawson trying to get the ball into Savannah Christensen for some offense. Third leading scorer for this Knights team, second being Alexis Barnes. Alexis Barnes on the bench right now. Savannah Christensen in the game, but Savannah Christensen riding on 2 fouls as well. Kiara Ballum gets it into Christensen. Christensen drives. On her way to the cup, gets fouled. It appears like she'll be sent to the line to shoot 2. So second straight foul call against number 32, Erica Carter. So just like that, Carter picking up her second foul.
Well, the ref's starting to pick up on some of the things that Mary Washington is doing. They're not necessarily hitting with their hands, but they're getting their body into them to affect the shot. That's why you're seeing a lot of the Knights shooters end up on the floor.
Christensen converts on her first shot. Now checking into the game, number 11, Corey Stout. Making her way to the bench is number 30, Kiara Ballum. No go in a second, but rebounded by Dye. Dye able to get the quick rebound. Put it up good for two. Great work by Malia Dye.
Exactly what the doctor ordered. You have Katie Garish out. Malia Dye comes in, instantly provides a spark with rebounding and going right back up with it.
Coach Adam Wurdenberg appealing for a travel call, but Eagles still on offense. Comer whips it over to Thompson. Thompson three. No good. Rebounded by Sophie Wright. Sophie Wright now. Sophie Wright pulls up for two. That's no good. Rebounded by Brindy Baum. Somehow gets that rebound amongst a host of Eagles. There'll be a foul call on the play now against number 25, Malia Dye.
I think what's going through the ref's minds right now is Brindy Baum is in the paint with girls that are much bigger than her, much taller than her. And so they're not really thinking that's as possible for her to get fouled or at least get hit on the arm on a shot. And so they're not as willing to call a foul right now, which it's usually the opposite. And so we'll see if that starts to trend a little bit more as Malia Dye picks up her first foul.
And Brittany Baum again averages right around 5 rebounds a game for this Knights team. So one of those players goes a little bit unnoticed in terms of the highlights. Those usually Katie Garish and Alexis Barnes of like, but always gets her due, puts in the work, and gets a lot out of it.
Yeah, she does all the not so glorious plays. I mean, we saw her last time they were here at Knight Arena on senior night, where Brittany Baum just went after rebound after rebound after rebound. She's a workhorse, along with other senior Nicole Muse and Alexis Barnes. They're all workhorses. That's why this team is so inspired by their seniors and their senior leadership.
And they'll need that work as much as they can. Despite them, or the Knights being top of the CAC right now, going up against third team from the bottom in the University of Mary Washington. Mary Washington in their last game beat Penn State Harrisburg 66-28. It's coming off an extremely strong game. Coming into the Knight Arena, the Knights will have to do all the work they can to be able to hold this team back.
Well, that speaks wonders to Mary Washington's exterior defense, because when Penn State Harrisburg was here at Knight Arena and upset the Knights, Penn State Harrisburg, like you mentioned, shot over 63 pointers. And so the fact that Penn State Harrisburg was only limited to 28 points, that just speaks wonders to either Mary Washington's great exterior defense or Penn State Harrisburg shooting woes in that game.
Malia Dye comes down with that one after the missed shot from number 50, Tori Martin. Corey Stout now taking the ball down to the floor for the Knights. Christensen drives in. No good by Christensen. But rebounded by the Knights. Brindy Ballum. Christensen three. That no good. Rebounded by number 24, Megan Comer. Eagles now, Emily Thompson. With the ball all the way across the floor, back to Thompson. Comer now down to the paint. Saki. Drive by Kayla Saki. Final 5 seconds to the shot clock. Saki goes up. No good, but that's rebounded. That was rebounded number 50, Tori Martin. Now the Knights on offense.
That's just great defense right there. It's so satisfying as a defender when you play defense for such a long time and the other team doesn't even get a really decent shot off.
That shot by Christensen blocked and picked up by number 23, Emily Thompson. Foul call on the play. Interesting to see who it goes on. There's 2 Knights involved in the play, Sophie Wright and Malia Dye.
And that block on Christensen's shot was by number 5, Jordan Pamlani. Just came out of nowhere to not necessarily swat into the stands, but definitely effective nonetheless.
Effective defense for sure, and that foul call on the Knights goes against number 14, Sophie Wright, so she picks up her first. Now the Knights back on defense. Brindy Ballum guarding number 33, Kayla Saki. Travel call on the play on number 50, Tori Martin, after a great defense by the Knights.
And you see Corey Stout arguing for offensive foul as he saw number 50, Tori Martin, kind of lower her shoulder a little bit try to gather herself to go up for the basket.
Coming into the game for the Knights, number 23, Alexis Barnes, and number 20, Amanda Wood. Ball stolen by Saki. Foul call on the play. Looks like it'll go against number 23, Alexis Barnes, after the drive from Kayla Saki.
Yeah, she went down with her arm on the layup just to prevent the easy bucket.
So Barnes picks up her first foul of the night. And collectively, Dawson, between both teams, we've seen 13 fouls on the night.
Into the game for the Eagles, number 40, Lamar Gibbs.
Substitute coming in for the Eagles. Emily Thompson makes her way to the bench, and number 40, Tora Gibbs. The freshman forward from Arlington, Virginia, makes her way to the court. Saki again on the line. That one falls.
You know, you talk about such a close game. If you look at all the stats here lined up like we can, you see that Mary Washington has 11 turnovers, SVU has 8. But every other category, SVU is basically neck and neck, either 1 or 2 off on each category.
Knights working the ball around now on offense. Ballum trying to get into Malia Dye. All goes off the foot of Jordan Paolani. And also, we mentioned how important these next 2 games for the Knights are. This one against University of Mary Washington, next up against St. Mary's. The Knights really need CNU to lose tonight against Salisbury. Just checked into that game. CNU leads 27-5. 4 minutes and 41 seconds left to go in the second quarter against the Seagulls of Salisbury.
I mean, CNU's playing such good ball right now. And so, again, like I said, that's why they need CNU to slip up at this point, because they do not want to match up with CNU while they're playing their best basketball.
They need to, like you said, CNU playing their best basketball on a 4-game winning streak. The Knights have beaten CNU. They beat them here in Knight Arena a couple weeks ago. So they went split on games. When the Knights are home, they have the advantage of CNU, but when CNU's home, they're a force to be reckoned with. So the next 2 games for the Knights, so important. Trying to clinch that number 1 seed going into the CSC tournament and have home court advantage the entire time. Number 33, Kayla Saki up to the line. Shoot for the Eagles. Give the Eagles a 2-point lead. Knights now on offense. Amanda Wood. Wood tries to get the ball up to Alexis Barnes. Stripped by Saki. And now Eagles with the ball. Martin. Carry call on number 50, Tori Martin. Give the Knights back the ball. Entering the final 2 minutes of this first half, Eagles lead 25-23. Knights now on offense. Just as I say, that stripped away by Saki, and Saki to the cup. No good, rebounded by Jordan Paolani. Martin now. Martin up against Dye. Dye gets the better of that one. Foul call on the play to go against number 10, Faith St. Clair of the Eagles. So Faith St. Clair picks up her second. Give the Knights back the ball.
And you're starting to see exactly what happened in their last outing against St. Mary, or Mary Washington, excuse me, where it went to overtime. Just a back and forth battle constantly. Neither team really able to maintain momentum on their side.
Alexis Barnes not able to finish on that drive. Faith St. Clair gets it into Martin. Martin able to put it off the window for 2. Corey Stout 3. That no good. Rebounded by Saki. Final minute of the first half. Paolani on her way to the cup will be fouled. Interesting to see who that foul goes on. Foul call on Knights Alexis Barnes again. So
Second personal team.
Barnes picking up her second of the night after the drive of Jordan Palmani.
Jordan Penlaney, Judy Smith.
Converts on her first. Give the Knights give the Eagles rather a 5-point lead. Savannah Christensen makes her way back into the game for Amanda Wood. Also joining her, Sophie Wright. Katie Garish still in the game. At number 30, Kiara Ballum.
So Coach Warrenberg's putting his players that he's confident that can get some points here in the last half minute. And that's why he's not afraid to put Katie Garish back in with the foul trouble that she has.
Entering the final 30 seconds of this first half, the Eagles have a 6-point lead over the Knights. Right corner three. That one no good. Rebounded by Brindy Ballum, though. Ballum gets it out to Christensen. Pass in to Katie Garish. Katie Garish not able to convert on that one. Picked up by Comer and the Eagles. St. Clair. So the final shot of the half from number 30, Elena Miller, no good. That ends the first half. Eagles have a 6-point lead over the Knights of Southern Virginia, 29-23. Saw some great play back and forth between both teams, but now going into halftime. And now we have Dawson Wiedrick standing alongside Coach Wardenberg. Dawson, what do you have?
I'm here with Coach Adam Wardenberg. And Coach, in that first half, defending post play was a little bit of a problem early on. What are some things you can do to combat that in the second half?
We just, honestly, I just don't think our team knows we have a game today, and we just got to wake up.
And you also had some foul trouble with several players, including Katie Garish. What are some things you can do to manage that as well in the second half?
Yeah, they'll be fine. We just got to play basketball. We're fine. Go Knights.
Thank you, Coach. Chris, back to you.
Today's game is about stopping the clock against
Thank you so much, Dawson. Again, Eagles end that first half with a 6-point lead over the Knights. 29-23. Knights will look to get back. Now during this halftime, we'll see the dance squad take the floor. They'll give us a little preview of what they'll be showing in their next competition as a team.
Play for K is the largest fundraising initiative in the K Yao Cancer Fund and is most directly the vision of Coach K Yao. For Coach Yao, it was simple. Unite women's basketball in the fight against cancer using a game as a fundraiser benefiting the K Yao Cancer Fund. Through Play for K, the fund reaches programs across the country, extending hope to survivors, raising money to aid in the fight against all women's cancers, and serving to the underserved. To date, the K Yao Cancer Fund has awarded $6.53 million for all cancers affecting women. Battling stage 4 cancer, Coach K Yao envisioned that Play for K games would not just raise money in the fight against all women's cancers, but also be a platform for survivors nationwide as they battle cancer. She saw these games as a way to encourage and to give hope. Today, we honor these courageous women in our community, and we stand with you in your fight. You are not alone. We are all in this together. And now we welcome to the floor our Southern Virginia University dance team, performing a preview of their hip-hop dance that they'll be performing in their upcoming competition.
I'm Sophia Wright. I'm a sophomore here at Southern Virginia University. I'm from Logan, Utah.
My name is Blake Wright. I'm Sophie Wright's dad. Really happy to have her here at Southern Virginia University. This seems like to be a really good fit for her.
So I decided to transfer to Southern Virginia University because I've had the dream of playing college basketball since I was like 5 or 6 years old, and SVU is what gave me the opportunity to be able to live my dream. Besides basketball, I was also given the opportunity to do a social media marketing internship, and that has helped me grow in several different areas I didn't even know I could grow in, which I know sounds kind of odd, but I've just learned a lot of different life lessons from the internship and just been able to explore different options career-wise and just in general.
She knew she was supposed to be here and she fit in, she felt comfortable. She said she wasn't homesick. I assume that's true. And it's just been nothing but positive ever since we dropped her off in August. So
it's just been really easy to learn here and to feel like I'm improving and growing. Coming to Southern Virginia University, it just feels like coming home.
a little over a year ago, I had some pain in my right shoulder. It kind of bothered me. I figured it was just bruised bones or inflammation or something. We treated, doctors treated for that, but it didn't really go away. And after a couple of months, it had spread. They determined I have multiple myeloma, which is cancer in your plasma in your bone marrow. That was the diagnosis. I've been in treatments for almost a year, and we're working towards getting the cancer in my plasma cleaned up enough that I can do a bone marrow transplant.
We all kind of came really close together when he first got diagnosed, and we're really tight-knit, and then the opportunity to come to Southern Virginia University came along, and I was hesitant to bring it up because I didn't know, what it would entail, but ever since I brought it up, he really encouraged me to come, and he really pushed me to live my dream, even though he was going through something so hard. So I think it was cool that he really, he never forgot about the dream I had, and he really wanted me to pursue it, and I think that that's a really cool thing.
Last Saturday when we played, it just sort of hit me. Here we are, Sophie's living her dream at SVU. I'm so proud of her. And I'm glad she could live her dream even though we've got difficult things going on in our family, and it'd be nice for us all to be close. She's where she needs to be and we're where we need to be. And it all works out. Just have a little trust, it'll work out, so. Yeah, I have one last thing. Go Knights.
Chris Fly alongside Dawson Weidrich. Here we get a little halftime analysis of the game we're watching right now. The Knights trail the Eagles of the University of Mary Washington 29-23. Dawson, what can we make of that first half?
Well, we saw great moments of defense by the Knights. We saw a moment like Adrian Tuasuvera going up for a great steal. Saw some great moments from Corey Stout. I think the big thing right now is just the Knights haven't really been able to get in a comfortable rhythm. That's due to a lot of foul trouble, especially with Katie Garrett. She has 3 fouls right now. Savannah Christensen has 2. And so it's caused Coach Warrenberg to kind of switch things up a little bit as far as his rotation is concerned. Had to have Malia Dye in there a little bit longer than maybe he anticipated. She's done a great job in that stead, but it also just throws things off a little bit as far as, I guess I should say, how you're used to things as it goes.
We've seen a number of Knights get a little scorecard. The number of Knights bench players being forced to the game due to the number of fouls. One of those players being Sophie Wright. And just to mention a little about Sophie Wright, done a great job so far in this game. We saw that great halftime video with her and featuring her father. Just want to send the hashtag Brave Like Blake to support finding a cure for cancer sometime in the near future. Dawson, to get back to this game, Knights, again, down by 6. Like you said, we saw a number of great plays by Katie Garrish and other players. We've also seen a number of fouls. Katie Garrish already has 3. It's forcing the Knights to put in other players like Dye, like Wright, and the like.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about it earlier in this broadcast multiple times. The Knights need this game. As far as CAC conference is concerned, they are leading the conference right now. You see that on your screen, the rankings right there. It's such a tight race between them and Christopher Newport right now, who are handling Salisbury right now. And they need to win these next 2 games in order to steal number 1 seed. If they do that, they'll have home court advantage the first 2 games of the CAC tournament, which we will broadcast here in the Knight Sports Network. But again, the Knights need to figure out their offensive rhythm. They need to figure out how to guard the post. That's been a big problem so far today, as Martin for the Eagles has 10 points right now and has had some great plays as far as like posting up, pivoting around, and getting easy buckets.
And also, as it stands right now, the Knights have sealed home court advantage for the quarterfinal game that they'll play in the coming days. But again, the next 2 games very important for the Knights. They want to seal that number 1 in the CAC spot. Christopher Newport right behind him. They need Christopher Newport to fall to Salisbury. Doesn't look like it's happening right now. Salisbury handing it, or right now CNU rather, handing it to Salisbury 36-14 at the end of that first half. But Dawson, back to this game. You have 2 games for the Knights. This one against the Eagles, the next against the Seahawks of St. Mary's. 2 very beatable teams. You went to overtime last time that you played the Eagles. You're down by 6 right now. What do you need to do to get back in this game?
Well, I think you just need to get back to the mentality that the Knights had in their 16-game win streak. I think once they lost against Penn State Harrisburg, and ever since then, it's been kind of hard for them to get back into their rhythm. I mean, we've seen them have some great performances like last week against Salisbury winning in overtime. But again, they just need to get back to what they're comfortable doing, get back to their groove, get back to what powered them the most. Now, it's sufficient turnover-reduced basketball. And so far right now, they're kind of at that level, but again, they're not quite at the peak that they were in their winning streak.
Definitely not playing the way they would like to. And Dawson, it should be mentioned, the Eagles of the University of Mary Washington with the last win in that wonderful 16-game winning streak that the Knights had. They would win in overtime away at the University of Mary Washington. And then they lost against Penn State Harrisburg after a barrage of 3s. They've done a good job so far of defending the 3, having defended the paint very well. And like you said, the assist-to-turnover ratio for the Knights so far in this game, not where it needs to be. That'll do it for our halftime analysis. We thank you so much for joining us on the Knight Sports Network, and we'll bring you back as soon as the second half starts. Welcome back to the Knight Arena as the Knights face a deficit coming into this second half. They're down 23-29 against the Eagles of the University of Mary Washington. I'm Chris Fly alongside Dawson Weidrich here to bring the action of the second half.
And again, the Knights need to come out in the second half with a fire in their belly. They need to come out with motivation. They need to come out with a great offensive possession to get things started. Because again, we talked about during the break how the Knights don't seem like they're playing like themselves right now. They need to get themselves out of this mental fog and get to playing their style of basketball.
Looking to get back to their style in this first offensive possession. Malum's three. That's no good. Rebounded by number 32, Erica Carter. Knights not able to get the three to fall so far in this game. They're 1 of 7, a dismal 14.3%.
One thing I'm surprised though is that Katie Garrison is starting in the second half. She already has 3 fouls from that first half, and so they'll have to really be careful with her in that paint.
3 fouls, but she also had 12 points and 4 rebounds, so leading scoring for both squads on tonight, despite minute restrictions with those 3 fouls. As they see Erica Carter putting it up over Garrish for 2, so Garrish probably not playing the stout defense she's used to playing with these fouls. Pass into Garrish. Picked up by Barnes after mishandled by Stout. Go off the hands of Alexis Barnes. And now the hands of the Eagles.
That's just the possessions you don't like to see for any team that you either cheer for or coach or are a part of. You don't want to see 2 players mishandle the ball in a row.
Definitely not what you want to see if you're a coach. Again, Knights coached by Coach Adam Wardenberg. First-year head coach for the Knights. The Eagles coached by Dina Applebury. In her 16th season as head coach of the Eagles of the University of Mary Washington, it says here she has a career record of 338 wins and 92 losses. So experienced coaching for the Eagles and great young coaching in Coach Adam Wardenberg and the Knights. Eagles on offense. Carter blocked by Garrish. No foul call on the play. Knights on offense, working the ball around. Stout to Barnes.
Fans of both teams furious that there was no whistle blown there.
Now a travel called on number 23 of the Knights, Alexis Barnes. And like you said, Dawson, fans from both sides surprised no call there. We've seen that throughout the night. Plays where it looks like a foul call will have to be made on at least someone, but no call. And the Eagles on offense, great dish by Saki. Now the Eagles moving the ball around. Saki again. Blocked again by Katie Garrish down low in the paint.
Another situation that could have easily been called a travel.
Barnes into Garrish. Garrish off the window for 2 over top of Erica Carter.
The Knights finally got the first points of the second half.
That was a great drive in by number 5, Jordan Paulani. Foul call play. Looks like it'll go on Savannah Christensen, and it does. Dawson, if I'm not mistaken, that is Savannah Christensen's 3rd foul of the night.
So 2 key post players for the Knights right now with 3 fouls. And so they both have to be very, very careful. Expect to see Mary Washington take advantage of that.
The first one falls for Jordan Paulani. Two for 2 from the line. Knights down 25-33. Corey Stout now with the ball. Ballum's 3. That's no good. It'll go off the hands of, looks like a mixture of Katie Garrish and Savannah Christensen. It'll be Eagles ball.
That's the classic case of 2 teammates fighting for the ball, not realizing the other one's their teammate, and ends up going out of bounds.
Eagles on offense. Carter. This is Megan Comer. Gives it into Carter. Stolen by Alexis Barnes, and here come the Knights. Alexis Barnes good off the window for 2, and Coach Adam Wardenberg appealing for a foul call there against number 5, Jordan Paulani.
That's Alexis Barnes' first basket of the night. Very well timed with a great steal. Great defense leads to great offense.
Now the Lights looking to make a defensive stand. And there it is, Savannah Christensen with a monster block.
We've seen Katie Garrish get blocks where it's just tipped up in the air, but that one, Savannah Christensen went straight up for it and swatted out of the air.
Now Knights on offense. Garrish. 2 no good. Rebounded by Saki. Picked up by Brindy Ballum. Emily Thompson. Eagles still on offense.
Not bad out of Chris, but we're starting to see a big surge of energy on defense for SVU right now with multiple steals in a row.
Now Emily Thompson. Thompson trying to get it into what appeared to be number 32, Erica Carter. It'll stay with the Eagles, and Carter makes her way to the bench, and number 50, Tori Martin, comes in the game. Dawson, Tori Martin, leading scorer so far for this Eagles team, had 10 points on the night. Right in to Martin, and absolutely stuffed by Savannah Christensen. So 2 blocks in a row for Savannah Christensen.
My goodness. You can either throw it from over here. She hit that thing with everything she had. Literally saying, not in my house.
So the Knights now have 5 blocks on the night. Savannah Christensen picking up at least 2 of them after 2 straight blocks on 2 offensive possessions.
The only thing she did wrong there was she didn't wave her finger and said, nah, not today.
Knights on offense, Alexis Barnes. Christensen gets a double dribble call on the offensive side of things. Give the ball back to the Eagles.
She was anticipating getting a bounce pass to Katie Garrish, but at the last second, Katie Garrish decided to switch positions. And so Savannah Christensen was left in a very vulnerable position.
Eagles on offense, Combs. Emily Thompson. Pass back out to Comer. Eagles moving the ball around. Get it into Martin. Charge call on number 50, Tori Martin. So Savannah Christensen on 3 straight offensive possessions for the Eagles. 3 straight ways to stop the onslaught.
The first one a pretty good stuff, the second one a phenomenal block, and the second one a great, just fundamental play of taking the charge. And this is something we've been looking forward to seeing from Savannah Christensen. She's had a couple of games where, except for last game against Salisbury, she had a great game with 18 points, but the games before that, she seemed to be not having her best game. She didn't really have anything flowing for her. Shots weren't falling, defense wasn't going great, she's in foul trouble, but now finding her stride against the Eagles.
Dawson, you mentioned foul trouble. In this game alone, she has 3 fouls. Her and Katie Garrish, who's been the defensive juggernaut so far in the beginning of the second half, doing everything, both having 3 fouls. And Brittany Ballin grabs that offensive rebound and tries to put it back up. Should be fouled and sent to the line. That foul call on number 40, Tora Gibbs.
Yeah, Brittany Ballin was just thrown to the floor. She just tried to get that desperation shot up. Basically, Grandy shot it up into the air, knowing she's going to fall straight to the ground.
Look on the top left side of the screen. You see number 25 of the Knights, Malia Dye, making her way into this game. And she'll check in for number 40, Katie Garrish. So Garrish gets a breather. Dye back in this game. Ballum now. Second one good from the line. 4-point deficit for the Knights. Megan Comer with the ball. Stolen by Corey Stout.
And a smart play there by Corey Stout, not trying to rush it, just making sure she maintains control.
And Dawson then makes 5 straight offensive possessions without a score for the Eagles. Christensen's 3. Got it!
Finally, after the drive to 3-pointer, Savannah Christensen, of all people today, having just a great co-possessions, gets the 3 to fall.
That brings Christensen up to 6 points on the night. Foul call on that play after number 50, Tori Martin, makes her way into the paint. And that foul call goes against number 23, Alexis Barnes. So Alexis Barnes now has 3 fouls. 3 different nights with 3 fouls, 3 personal fouls. You have Alexis Barnes now picking up her third. Savannah Christensen had 3 for a while, and Katie Garish having 3 for a number of minutes as well.
And again, it throws a little monkey wrench into your plan there. I mean, you have 3 of your most productive players as far as points scored is concerned, and now you have to sit them for a little bit and strategize how to get them in situations where they're not committing fouls. And so you can't have them playing their best defense because they both are very aggressive and very down and gritty defenders. And so they can't play their style anymore.
Can't play their style, but Dawson, something tells me that won't stop Savannah Christensen and the like from doing what they do and doing what they know best, playing that tough, stout defense. Again, Savannah Christensen's had 3 fouls for a number of minutes so far in this game, and she picked up a charge call and 2 blocks. So not afraid to get it done on the defensive side, despite already having 3 fouls and being in foul trouble.
And even swatting away those blocks, too. She could have, in any other situation, could have easily been called for a foul, but instead went for it. She knew her team needed a spark, and those 2 blocks are what created it.
Knights now looking to ride the wave of momentum they've built up through the last couple of minutes. 5 straight offensive possessions for the Eagles go scoreless. Knights still have a deficit of 1 point, and we'll get things started again with number 50, Tori Martin, standing at the foul stripe.
Well, so far the Knights have done a good job against Mary Washington, where they've only had 4 points pending this free throw in the 3rd quarter.
So Martin misses her first. Martin so far in this game, leading scorer for the Eagles. She has 10 points on the night. Second one does fall, so 1 of 1 from the line. Still a 2-point lead for the Eagles. Ballum tried to get into Garrett, was picked up by Wood. Wood fouled on her way to the basket. Foul will stay on the floor. That foul call goes against number 33, Kayla Saki.
I love the awareness from Amanda Wood. She noticed that the pass for Katie Garrett was just incredibly high for her. She couldn't jump and get that, and so she ran up and got it and saved the possession.
Garish now. Garish no good. Knights able to pick up the rebound. Angel Tuasavera. Gets it up to Corey Stout. Stout pulls up for 2. Picks up her own rebound. Can't finish on the open layup. Knights cannot finish around the basket. And now foul call on the play as number 5, Jordan Paulani, picks up the rebound and tripped up. That foul call against number 12, Brendy Ballum.
And Corey Stout was wide open. I think I've said this a couple times on the broadcast. It feels like every game. It feels like she was so surprised at how open she was. And so she put up way too strong, and Kate Garish had the chance way too strong.
Eagles on offense. Get it into Martin. No good against a tough defense by Garish. Here comes Tuasavera and the Knights. Tuasavera just losing control of the ball on that drive. Handing the ball back off to the Eagles.
That's just getting too carried away. I mean, you have an opportunity to tie the game up or take the lead with a 3-pointer, and then you just try to take it in yourself. That's not going to work, especially if it's a 1-on-3 situation.
1-on-3 situation. Now the Eagles back on offense. Knights having to defend. Still a 2-point game. Knights still in this game. And Saki with the ball. Eagles working the ball around. Gets it down to Martin. Good by Martin off of the tough post work against Savannah Christensen.
That's a tough matchup for Savannah Christensen. She has the size disadvantage, not the height disadvantage, but size. And so it gives Martin the advantage of being able to post up and get her positioning where she wants to.
Drive by Ballum, no good. Eagles on offense. Palmani. And there'll be a block call against Savannah Christensen down in the low blocks after the drive for number 5, Jordan Palmani. And that's Savannah Christensen's 4th foul on the night.
And it's such a shame she was catching such great momentum here in this 3rd quarter. Now she'll probably sit indefinitely, at least until the last couple minutes of the game.
Now checking in for the Knights, number 23, Alexis Barnes, and making her first appearance of the night, number 10, Nicole Muse.
And number 24, Megan.
good on her second. So Corey Stout and the Knights looking for any kind of answer entering the final 3 minutes of the third quarter. Alexis Barnes stepping out of bounds, trying to pivot back on her right foot and just stepped out of bounds. Handing the ball back up to the Eagles. So the Knights are beating themselves on offense, it seems so far, Dawson.
It really is. I mean, the Knights, both teams have done a not so great job of turnovers. They both have 15 right now. And that's a perfect example of that. We're traveling. With the Eagles, it's been traveling calls. With the Knights, it's been silly passes and silly mistakes, like this pass possession with Alexis Barnes and stepping out of bounds.
And Dawson, respectively for both teams, Knights have 15 turnovers on the night, and the Eagles have 16. Now the Knights looking to turn the tides on offense. Picking up where they left off. Pass from Muse into Garish, not good, picked off by Paulani. But then Muse able to get back and draw the charge.
That's just a great job. I mean, she knew she had just turned the ball over, and so she decided to take the charge right there and get possession right back. Well done.
Into Garish. Hands it up to Barnes. Barnes not able to convert. Now picked up by Carter.
Barnes was not able to get her hands securely on that ball that entire time, and so when she threw it up, it was just off the fingertips. No spin on it at all. Just no control.
Stolen by the Knights. Nicole Muse. Stout into Garish. Muse corner three. Then no good. Rebounded by Faith St. Clair. Eagles working the ball up. Looks like they'll take their time now with Kayla Saki. Carter. Eagles working the ball around. Comer. Into Carter. Quick too good by Kayla Saki after the tough defending by Corey Stout. Extends this lead to 7 entering the final minute of the third quarter. Stout into Garish. Garish puts it up. No foul call on the play. Give the ball back to the Eagles. Carter now down on low blocks. St. Clair. Drive by Saki. Double dribble call on Kayla Saki. Well-deserved call. Saw her pick it up and put it right back down.
Yeah, she completely lost track of if she had dribbled or not, or if she had picked it up, or if someone else had touched it. Maybe that's what crossed her mind. But right now, the big difference in this game right now is that second quarter when the Knights gave up 14 points and only scored 9. And right now, the Knights only have 9 points, whereas Mary Washington has 10 in this third quarter.
Knights still down by 7, entering the final seconds of the third quarter. Knights with the ball. Brindy Ballum gets it into Garish. Amanda Wood three. No good. Rebounded by both teams. Jump ball call. Possession arrow stays with the Eagles.
And I think they might need to put some more time on the clock, at least into the second, because the clock ran after the whistle was blown.
Interesting to see if they do so. As it stands right now, won't do anything about it. So final 5 seconds for the Eagles. Saki in and out by Kayla Saki. Luckily for the Knights, doesn't fall. Keeps this deficit at 7 points for Coach Adam Wurtenberg and his Southern Virginia Knights.
Well, the Knights started that third quarter off really well. Some great plays from Savannah Christensen, and they had some, again, the great shot from her, some great blocks, and they were up 9-4 in this third quarter. But then the Eagles just rallied off 6 straight points. Had some great shooting, had some great passes, and so the Knights just need to respond. They need to have a complete quarter in order to pull away this game.
Knights have been outscored in every single quarter so far. This last one in the third outscored 10-9, so not a bad showing if you're the Knights, but you need to pick it up on the offensive side. And Dawson, they've struggled at making the wide open layup, or at least drawing fouls on the way to the cup. What can they do to get the refs' favor on their side?
Well, I think as far as fouls are concerned, you're going to have it different every single game. I mean, it's going to be again, you just need to figure out your refs throughout the first few quarters to figure out, okay, how are they calling this game? Is it going to be touchy, or are they going to let us play a little bit? And so far, it's been kind of a mixture of both. We've seen no calls as far as people falling down. We've seen, charging calls, blocking calls. But I think as far as the short layups are concerned, the Knights just need to focus. I mean, they get into the paint, and they feel like it's just a gimme. And whenever you do that, you just kind of trust yourself. When you trust yourself too much with short shots, oftentimes you miss. It's like those shooting competitions you have in practice. It's not the three-pointers or the long two-pointers that you miss. It's often the layups that do you in. And so the Knights need to get that mental focus to knock down those easy shots. So far on the night, the Eagles shooting 13 of 32 from the field, 40.6%. Knights not shooting anywhere close, 13 of 45. Knights shooting 28.9% from the field and 18.2% from the three-point line. Shooting been a concern for the Knights so far in this game. Looks like they can turn around coming into this fourth quarter. And meanwhile, the Knights try to get into Garish, and Garish able to be sent to the foul line.
That foul is on number 32, Erica Carter, for third personal, team's first. Katie Garish to the line, shooting 2.
First shot by Garish is good. Garish goes 1 of 2 from the line. Now the Eagles pick it up. Quick drive in by number 5, Jordan Palmani. Corey Stout and the Knights. Nice win the ball around. Corey Stout 3. Got it!
Well, that'll help.
Definitely does help. Add to the shooting woes the Knights have had so far in this game. Now a 5-point deficit. Face St. Clair.
The Knights are doing a lot to defend the exterior for this Eagles team, whereas they should be concerned with the interior. There's been a lot of great cuts, a lot of great post work by this Eagles team. In fact, the Eagles have only shot 4 3-pointers in this game. That's a third of how many the Knights have shot today in 12. And so, again, that's where you need to focus your energy is in that post play and those interior shots.
Dawson, you mentioned that. The leading scorer so far for the Eagles, number 50, Tori Martin, and number 5, Jordan Palmani. Both guards, both in double figures. Martin with 13, Palmani with 10. The majority of the points for the Eagles have come down low blocks, and more specifically, right down the baseline on reverse layups. Jump ball call after the fought forward rebound between Garish and Palmani. The possession arrow stays with the Eagles. St. Clair inbounding. Gets it into Palmani again for an easy deuce.
The Eagles have the Knights running around right now and leaving openings. The Knights need to find some more of a zone play going on here to stop those cuts.
Knights turn the ball over. Now here come the Eagles. Megan Comer face St. Clair, electing not to shoot the wide open shot. Instead, to get things started on the offensive side for the Eagles.
Again, you're not seeing a lot of exterior shooting for the Eagles, just a lot of interior just like this.
And on that drive to the cup, face St. Clair picks up a foul, and that foul call goes against number 40, Katie Garish. So 4 fouls on Garish, 4 fouls on Christensen. 2 of the great Knights players in foul trouble now in this game. St. Clair no good, but rebound picked up by Kiara Ballum. Barnes now. Barnes drives in. Barnes fouled on the way to the cup, but sent to the line to shoot 2.
That's what they need to do right now. What they need is when you have people making baskets like Savannah Christensen has and as Corey Stott has, you need to get some drive and kickouts. get somebody in the corner and have players like Alexis Barnes or Brittany Bellum drive in and kick out to the corner and get those corner shots, or at least set back up the offense again.
Dawson, the Eagles now take their biggest lead of the game. They lead by 6. Alexis Barnes no good on her first shot. By 10. The score is 46-36. Eagles up by 10 rather than 6.
A lot of 6s there, Chris.
A lot of 6s. Good on her second. 9-point game. Shot no good. Rebounded by Garish.
What a catch by Katie Garish. Just a one-handed snag being able to bring it in.
Knights now on offense. Alexis Barnes. Knights working the ball around. Brindy Ballum. Christensen drive. Shot no good. Rebounded by Garish. Garish able to pick up the offensive rebound, and the foul. Be sent to the line to shoot 2.
I'm just going to say that was a really good pass from Christensen.
Attempted at alley-oop.
Wouldn't that be something to see Katie Garish go up there and slam it down?
Would be a sight to see, but now she has 2 foul shots. First one falls for Katie Garish. Make it 38-46. The Eagles still lead. Moves Katie Garish up to 14 points on the night and 8 rebounds. Only one night so far in double figures as opposed to the Eagles that have 2 players in double figures and almost 3 with Kayla Saki having 9 points.
We all see Corey Stout coming in for Kiara Ballum. So Corey Stout, with the great shooting she's had at moments in this game, will hopefully add to whittle down this deficit.
Eagles now taking the ball down the floor. This is number 24, Megan Comer. Kick out to Thompson. Palmani back to Thompson. Shot no good, but offensive rebound picked back up. Possession arrow with the Knights on that jump ball call.
Possession arrow is for the Knights.
Dawson need to make it known. Emily Thompson coming in this game, leading scorer for the Eagles. Haven't heard much from her at all. She only has 3 points on the night. Again, she loves to shoot threes. It was interesting to see the Eagles come in tonight, and you think they rely on the three-point game. That's what's been the Knights' deficit so far. They've gone straight to the paint on this Knights team.
They're playing the game of anything you can do, I can do better. They've been trying to prove that tonight, as you saw Katie Garish just say, no, you can't do anything better than I can. But again, we've seen a lot of post play from the Eagles that has been really hard for the Knights to defend.
Dawson could also play a fact. Maybe they came into this game wanting to shoot the three a little bit more, but after 3 quick fouls on Christensen and Garish, they had to change things up. That 3-point good by number 24, Megan Comer. One of the very seldom threes we've seen so far in the game for the Eagles.
Yeah, it's only their 5th one.
That drive by Christian, no foul on the drive. Give the ball back to the Eagles. Eagles now with the ball. Martin against Garish. Martin able to convert on the great post play against Garish. Garish being forced to stand there and just hold her hands up. Again, Garish with 4 fouls.
Again, with the foul trouble that Katie Garish has, Martin's able to do it whatever she wants, go to any place in the paint that she wants to be.
Garish turned around, good for 2.
Now Garish has 19 points on the night.
Megan Comer now with the ball for the Eagles. Gives it up to Emily Thompson. Drive in by Palmani, no good. Rebounded there by the Eagles. Ball back up to Comer, and the Eagles get a brand new shot clock. Palmani outside to Thompson. Thompson's 3 is good. Thompson not shooting many of them tonight, but when she does, she is lethal.
The Eagles are using 3-pointers as closing points right now. They decided to establish the post and build up a little bit of lead, and at the end, when they know that the Knights will be able to fight back a little bit, then they whip out the big guns with three-pointers.
Pass by Savannah Christensen, no good. Back in the hands with the Eagles. Palmani. Again, pass into number 50, Tori Martin. Good for an easy two. You have two players down there that don't want to foul out. Win Savannah Christensen and Katie Garish. They're the ones called upon to guard Martin, and they can't put a hand on her.
Corey Stout hit the floor hard.
Number 50, Tori Martin, her third personal, team's fourth.
There will be a foul call on the play against number 50, Tori Martin. Tori Martin pushing Corey Stout to the ground, and with that, it'll give us a little bit of a break with this media timeout and give Coach Adam Wardenberg an opportunity to talk to his girls.
And if I'm in there, we're hearing it right now. He's talking about rebounding, and that's been a huge issue in the past couple possessions. Thora Gibbs, number 40, we haven't seen a whole lot of her, but the past few possessions for the Eagles, she just come in and grabbed offensive rebound after offensive rebound and giving her team multiple chances. Several of those ending up with those three-pointers that have extended this lead for the Eagles.
Knights find themselves in a position that they are seldom in the season, being out-rebounded by the opposing team. Eagles have 35 rebounds on tonight. Knights only able to scrap 29. Knights do lead them offensive rebounds with 11, mainly due to Katie Garish being in the right spot at the right time. But Knights need to box out better and rebound better. That's really where they've struggled so far with defensive rebounding. Knights have 18 defensive rebounds compared to University of Mary Washington's 27.
Right, and I don't care if you don't rebound defensively, more than likely you're going to lose. And so the Knights need to pick it up here in the last 4.5 minutes. They need to get those defensive rebounds, get to the outside of the floor, run a smooth transition offense and half-court offense.
Coach Adam Wardenberg knows better than anyone, if you don't rebound well and you have the shooting woes that the Knights have had throughout this game, it can cause some controversy. Knights looking to turn it around, especially on the next offensive possession. That drive by Alexis Barnes. She's fouled on the way to the cup. Foul call goes on Eagles number 24, Megan Comer. So Megan Comer picks up her first, and Alexis Barnes gets a chance at the line to shoot two.
Alexis Barnes went up with a fire on that shot. She was bound and determined to get that shot off, if not get the foul.
Barnes good on her first. Dawson, we mentioned the Knights shooting woes. They've shot 32% from the field and 25% from three-point land. So picking up from what they shot earlier, 9 of 14 from the foul line, 64.3%. So not the greatest numbers. Definitely a pickup from what you had probably 5 minutes ago. But you want to see that number continuously rise.
Absolutely, especially if you expect the Knights to be able to pull off this comeback here within the next 4.5 minutes. They will have to shoot exponentially better.
Eagles now on offense, down to Carter. Passing Carter, trying to get it into Palmani. No good, turnover to the Knights.
The Eagles have been doing that all night with Jordan Palmani. I mean, with that cut on the backside, and the Knights defender will be like trailing them, trying to catch up, but the ball will be already over top of them and an easy basket. The Knights need to figure out how to get in front and stay between their man and the basket.
Knights now on offense. Christensen with a quick drive. Christensen no good on the drive, can't finish at the cup. Back to the Eagles. Eagles lead by 11. Megan Comer with the ball now. Try to get in Jordan Palmani, and they do. Palmani back out to Emily Thompson. Carter. Stolen by Garish. Checking back in with what's happening at Salisbury. Christopher Newport leading against the Seagulls right now to a tune of 63-33 in the fourth quarter.
Well, if you're hoping Salisbury pull that one off, that's not likely to happen tonight.
The Knights still have a tough road ahead of them. They need to clinch that. They really need to clinch that number one seed to get home court advantage throughout the entirety of their playoff run. They need to get over this hurdle of the Eagles at the University of Mary Washington. The Eagles giving the Knights a pretty tough time so far. Palmani's drive, no good. Rebounded by Christensen.
And the Knights really need to speed things up here, but not get themselves in a rush.
And Garish able to convert that one with the left hand off the great dish from Savannah Christensen.
Just like that. And fans, what I mean by go fast but not in a rush. It means quick but calculated. Like that play right there. Savannah Christensen got in the corner and knew she had option to pass to the post. When you rush it, you tend to just drive to the basket and just throw up some crazy shot. That's not what you want. You want high quality, high possibly makeable shots. And that's exactly what they did there with Katie Garish. As she now has 23 points. Sorry about that, Chris.
Exactly, and with that timeout taken by head coach Dina Appleberry, give her an opportunity to talk to the Eagles right now. Knights chipping away at this deficit, now down by 7 points to get the University of Mary Washington. That's a mouthful to say. They found success with Katie Garish. Katie Garish has 23 points on the night with 8 rebounds, but mainly so on the defensive side. You need to stop Tori Martin. She has 17 points, and Jordan Palmani with 12. Need to find a way, like you said, Dawson, to get in front of those cutters.
Yeah, I mean, it's just plain and simple. A lot of teams will use that scheme. Well, they have a post, and they'll get the ball down in the paint, and they'll have another person cut behind him. And so they either pass the backside or the post pass it back out and pass it over top of that lob pass. And so that's been killing the Knights all night. In fact, I'm willing to bet, and I'm not a betting man, but if I were a betting man, I would bet that at least 16 or 20 of their points have come from that backside cut.
Wouldn't doubt it whatsoever. And as we get action, the back started. Eagles with the ball. Inbounding is Faith St. Clair. And defending the inbound will be Knights' Katie Garish. So St. Clair gets it into Emily Thompson. Absolutely outmatched down on the low post. Tori Martin able to do whatever she wants against Corey Stout. And the pass by Corey Stout looking for Brindy Ballum. Brindy Ballum just not looking. But to go out of bounds and belong to the Eagles.
Yeah, somehow Corey Stout ended up being on Tori Martin in the paint. And that's just not a recipe for success in that one. And then, of course, Brindy Ballum not looking at that one. That's what I mean by being in a rush. Throwing a pass before you even notice your teammate is looking.
Martin. Jordan Martin against Christensen. Great post work by Tori Martin. Able to attack another 2 on. Tori Martin now has 21 points.
She subtly used that elbow to wrap herself around Savannah Christensen and get that spin move.
3 by Ballum, no good. Rebounded by the Eagles. Jordan Palmani now with the ball. As 2 players on the court collide, that appears to be Knights number 21, Savannah Christian, and looks like number 10 on the Eagles. That is number 10, Faith St. Clair.
I'm just surprised it took them so long to blow the whistle. I mean, we had it right here in front of your screen here in front of all the fans. And Savannah Christian just ran right into St. Clair and fell to the ground.
That'll give both coaches an opportunity to make some substitutions. Coming to the bench for the Knights, Corey Stout and number 21, Savannah Christian. And coming in for them, number 30, Kiara Ballum, and number 20, Amanda Wood. Inbound pass tipped away by the Knights. Possession now with the Eagles. Players having to pull each other away from the opposition after maybe some words were exchanged between Alexis Barnes of the Knights and Kayla Saki of the Eagles.
See some of the confusion from the Knights players. I feel like they thought that Saki had said something and they were just kind of looking at the refs like, really, this is going to be tolerated? We don't know what has been said, so we don't know which side was right. But nonetheless, the Eagles have the ball now.
Be a block call on the floor. Looks like it'll go against number 21, Savannah Christian. And it does, and that's Christian's 5th foul of the night. So Savannah Christian fouls her way out of this game, and Amanda Wood marches back on the court after just coming off for Savannah Christensen. Eagles inbounding, trying to get in Jordan Palmani. Stolen by the Knights. Here comes Brindy Ballum. Ballum put it up. No good on that shot. Rebounded by neither team. Goes out of bounds. It'll belong to the Knights.
That was a good call. I saw number 5, Jordan Palmani, run in there, and she tipped it out at the last second.
Knights get it into Katie Garish. They're calling an illegal screen on that inbound play against the Knights. That goes against Knights number 12, Brindy Ballum. So just as the Knights had an opportunity to get points on the board, the referee's coming with another call to send the Knights back on defense.
I'm surprised that gets called as an illegal screen, whereas the one that Savannah Christensen got knocked to the ground wasn't an illegal screen.
The Knights looking for an illegal screen call there on number 5, Jordan Palmini, slowing herself down and doing a break check, it looked like, on Brindy Ballum.
And also could have easily gotten a carry on Saki as she carried the ball for about 4 steps.
Knights back on offense. Brindy Ballum now needs to take her time. Dishes into Alexis Barnes. Alexis Barnes weaves her way through the defense and puts it up good for 2.
Alexis Barnes now has 7 points in this game. And under a minute left, down by 9. You need every single possible possession. You need to get every single possible call. And you need to foul at this point. Down by 9, you need to foul. But you have to foul the right people.
I need to foul, and on that last play, foul by Brindy Ballum. 4th on Brindy Ballum. We'll send number 23, Emily Thompson, to the line. Emily Thompson good on her first. This is Emily Thompson's first trip to the foul line. Now making her way into this game, number 14, Sophie Wright. She'll come in for Brindy Ballum as 4 fouls. Again, final 42.5 seconds of this game. Knights down by 10. And as soon as Katie Garish rebounded it, timeout taken by Coach Adam Wardenberg of the Knights. 41.5 seconds left to go in this game. Your team is down by 10, Dawson. What do you need to do?
Well, you just need to play smart basketball. You need to control the ball. But, of course, with the limited amount of time you have to be quick and smart. I talked about before earlier on. I'm not going to repeat the whole difference between quick and hurried. But one thing that I really like is the fact you have Katie Garish in there, Alexis Barnes, and also have Sophie Wright in there, too. Sophie Wright, in the limited time that she's had this season, has shown her capability of playing smart basketball, making smart passes, smart plays. And so that combination in there can have some great passing ball movement in there to get some great open shots, great open looks. And again, you're down by 10. You probably need a 3-pointer or 2 in there. And so Sophie Wright can do that. Amanda Wood can do that. She's shown that all season. Corey Stout can, as well as Alexis Barnes. So you have multiple players who are capable of that.
See what the Knights can do is they inbound it to Corey Stout. Corey Stout fouled immediately on that play, and she'll be sent to the line to shoot 2. That foul go against number 33 of the Eagles, Kayla Saki. Her 3rd personal foul of the night. They'll send Corey Stout to the line for an opportunity for 2 free baskets.
And not only that was only about a second and a half off the clock. And so she can get these 2 free points with that little amount of time taken off.
Stout converts her first. Now checking into this game, number 24, Angel Tuazavara. Interesting substitution by Coach Wardenberg. Probably looking for more of a defensive stand. Try to get that foul, get that ball back as quick as they can. Also subbing out Sophie Wright in for Nicole New. So looks like Coach Adam Wardenberg taking more of a defensive stand for this, at least the next offensive possession of the Eagles.
What you're going to be seeing here is that Coach Wardenberg in different possessions is going to send in different players. Like you just saw there. He had Sophie Wright. And yeah, they have Sophie Wright in there for offense, as well as Amanda Wood. And those are some great shooters. And so they had them there on offense, but they subbed in Tua Severo, who's a great defender. Nicole Muse is a great defender. Very strategic substitutions each possession.
And we just saw Katie Garish come off the floor for number 30, Kiara Ballum. So remember, Garish has 4 fouls on the night. 1 more and she's gone. She draws so much attention on the offensive side. You need her on the floor at all times when you have the ball in your possession.
And also on defense, they're just looking to foul right now. So they need the quick players to get some hands on people. Katie Garish and Lee Dye aren't the ones for that job. And so they want to get the fast people to get those fouls called.
Look at the top side, right side of your screen. You'll see Katie Garish, Brooker Jorgensen, and Malia Dye all coming into the game for the Knights. Knights need to make sure they get this rebound. They have had a trouble of giving up offensive rebounds to the Eagles so far in this game. Shot taken by Thompson. Immediate timeout taken by Coach Wardenberg and the Knights. Knights still down by 10. 35.8 seconds left to go in this game. And a host of Knights checking into the game.
And again, you see the strategic substitution that Coach Wardenberg has done all season in tight situations like this. Offense, he'll send in shooters. Defense, he'll send in defenders. Free throw situations, he'll send in rebounders. And now with this timeout, the Knights only have 2 timeouts left.
2 timeouts left. Knights down by 10, 63-53 against the Eagles. The University of Mary Washington need to find success shooting the ball in the coming minutes.
Well, absolutely do. They need
seconds, rather.
Yeah, absolutely. And they need to have some high-quality, long-range shots. I mean, you could also go in and try for and-one baskets, go in and get quick fouls and stop the clock. But with 10 points, that's a lot of and-ones they have to make.
Knights need to find their scores so far tonight. Katie Garrish has 23 points and 9 rebounds, and second leading scorer for the Knights team is Corey Stout with 10 points on the night. Amanda Wood with a quick drive in for the Knights. No foul call on the play. They'll say it goes off the hands of Katie Garrish, and it'll belong to the Eagles, much to the disapproval of the Knights bench.
Yeah, a lot of Knights fans right there were convinced that it was off an Eagles player. And again, like you said, utterly shocked that it wasn't called that way.
You could have made a strong case that ball went off the fingertips of number 10 for the Eagles, Faith St. Clair, but referees saw it differently. Now the Knights back on defense, need to make something happen. Katie Garrish still in this game for the Knights on the defensive side. She'll be tasked, looks like guarding number 50, Tori Martin. And as soon as the Eagles get it in, they'll foul, and they'll send number 23, Emily Thompson, to the line to shoot 2 for the Eagles.
And you notice the Eagles are trying to get it to Thompson every single time. We mentioned her before being their leading scorer throughout the season. That's obviously one of the more consistent free throw shooters. And so again, that strategic ball placement by Eagles coach Dina Applebury.
Now checking into the game, Brooke Jorgensen and Malia Dye, and coming off number 10, Nicole Muse, and number 24, Angel Tuisavura. Timeout taken out by Coach Wardenberg. Your team's down by 12, Dawson. Your best shot right now is the three-point line, and so far during this game, you haven't shot too great from beyond the arc. You're 3 of 13, 23.1%.
Yeah, and the only people that have been able to make a three-pointer have been Corey Stott. She's made 2, and Savannah Christensen with 1. And so you need those. And Savannah Christensen, of course, being fouled out of this game. Corey Stout is probably your best option, but with that and her height disadvantage, she needs to be wide open. And that's going to be very hard to come by here in the coming seconds. And so again, with that, your second best option is probably Amanda Wood or Alexis Barnes, and of course Sophie Wright is capable of that too. Get in the hands of one of those 3 players and see what can happen.
Sophie Wright with the ball. Sophie Wright with the 3. That no good, but rebounded by the Knights. Knights have another opportunity. Stout's 3. Knights can't convert from beyond the arc. Now rebounded by Jordan Palmani. It'll send Jordan Palmani to the line to shoot a pair for the Eagles.
Foul is on number 23, Alexis Barnes.
Checking in now with the scores for Christopher Newport. They are leading the Seagulls of Salisbury 75-40 with 2.5 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter.
And the Knights finally got a different Eagle on the free throw line, and Jordan Palmani.
Now Knights back on offense. Final 15 seconds. Knights working the ball around. Quick 3. Shot no good, but picked up by Garrish. Final 5 seconds counting down. Coach Adam Winterberg yelling no foul for his girls. So the Eagles of the University of Mary Washington gave the Knights a run for the money in their last meeting, and now they get the upper hand over the Knights. They beat the Knights 66-53. Knights move to second in the CEC underneath Christopher Newport. Knights still have a chance, though, to grab that number 1 spot. They can do that if Christopher Newport loses their next game away at St. And if York beats Frostburg State, close to play today, game was postponed. Knights still not out of it. It looks like Salisbury is going to lose against CNU. The Knights lose today, need to pick up another win in their final game against St. Mary's, which will be here at home. And then the action really starts with the CAC tournament.
Yeah, they really do. They need to figure out what's been going on the past couple games. They've struggled offensively and shooting. It's really been a month-long search to find their shot, really. And so the Knights need to get back to that. I mean, when they're in the winning streak, they're averaging about 77 points a game. And the past few games, it's been significantly lower, about 20 points lower. And so they need to get the groove back. They need to figure out what was working, what was not. Really hit the film hard and figure out some schemes they can use from those games in that winning streak.
Absolutely, Dawson. Great showing by Silver Knights. Katie Garrett ended with 23 points, but it wasn't enough to overcome the Eagles, the University of Mary Washington. We thank you so much for joining us on the Knights Sports Network. Don't go away as our coverage continues as the Knights men's basketball team take on the Eagles of the University of Mary Washington to upset one of the best teams in the CAC. Again, we thank you so much for joining us. And remember, go Knights.